this episode, I want to talk about that time that I had to come up with $450,000 in 5 months. So stay tuned if you guys want to see how I came up with that astronomical amount of money, which literally, I think that's one of the reasons all my hair fell out. Where do I even start? Let me give you guys a timeline. Remember when I told you guys I was building a business? My husband, when he used to do things, he would make money and do things as he goes. He would, as for me and some of the people I know around me, a lot of people don't have liquid cash. A lot of people have assets. So when you're trying to do something, a lot of people liquidate their assets. I know someone that got mad at someone recently because they wouldn't let them borrow some money. But when I spoke to the person, you don't even know that people have their money tied up in certain things. And sometimes when you mess with your money, you risk losing interest. You risk losing things. Some people don't have $20,000 just to sit there and just give to you. And that just reminded me of another story time. I don't know how to say this, but sometimes it's not easy to come up with money. Sometimes you gotta make moves, do stuff, and just to be on a time crunch, and then to be alone, and then to be grieving. Whew, y'all. Anyways, so I had no idea. I had ideas what Billy was doing with his business, but remember, guys, I had my own business. So he was doing his thing. I knew that he needed for that following Monday to have a check for $122,000. I knew he had. It's just crazy. I knew what he needed, but I knew he would get it. He was just talking to me about things. I'm like, oh, cool, great. Oh, wow, that's good. I saw him build the other business, and now I'm seeing him starting this project. I was proud of him. And so I had to come up with the rest of the money for the down payment for the equipment because the loan and everything was already, going. So I had to come up with the rest of the down payment because it was a huge down payment. And then construction started. So for the down payment, I sold 4 of his watches. And another thing that I used to be scared of is him buying all these watches. He was an avid Rolex collector. He has some Rolexes and jewelry at his location where his cars were. Because he sometimes liked to have stuff around. He didn't like everything at one spot. So he had some of his stuff put up over there. And yeah, that was taken from me too. I forgot about that. But anyways, what I had, I liquidated. I had to sell it because the business had to be finished. It was already an investment. I didn't want to lose the investment. And it was his dream. And what better way to finish your husband's legacy than to fulfill his dream while, I don't know. It just felt really good. It felt like that was the right thing to do. And I now I know for sure it is because God guided me and helped me, and I did it. So I came up with that. I'm not going to go into every single detail of how much I came up with the $450,000, but I'm going to tell you the things that I sold to get it. He had a Bentley, and when he bought this Bentley, I was like, babe, why are you buying this car? And this is why I go back to saying, live your best life and be a rock star and don't give a damn what anybody thinks. He didn't give a damn what people thought. He was like, I work hard, so this is what I want to buy, and this is what I'm going to buy. And I was like, okay, calm down, it's fine. But he bought this car, and literally he drove, it had 300 miles on it, and he had it for a whole year. And I sold that car. He owed some money on it, but I got some money out of that car. He just bought me my dream Range Rover. It was the Range Rover with the extended wheelbarrow. That's still my dream Range Rover. I would have still had that car. I would have kept it. I just love that car. But it was paid for, and I needed the money, so I sold that car. I got some cash for that, up front, no problem. What else did I sell? I got some money for his Audi. He had an A7, S7. Yeah, S7. I sold that, and it was just like a lot of little things that I end up selling. And as I was selling these things, it was buying me time because the down payment was the biggest thing, and then I had to give a down payment for the guys to start construction. So then that gave me a little breathing room. And then don't forget, guys, in between this, I have to pay my bills. I still have to pay the rent on the new business. Well, not the new business, the old business. Because that business is still standing and I have to run that. So I got to run that business. Take Layla to school now because Billy used to take her to school every day. Make sure she's good. Make sure the house is in order. Paying the bills in the house. Going to meet contractors. It was just so much other stuff to do. And sometimes I look back and I'm like, definitely I was being carried. I was definitely being carried by something bigger than me. And I'm so happy. I will never stop preaching this. I'm so happy that I did not. I'm so happy that I did not dwell on negative circumstances. Because if I dwelled on negative circumstances, guys, I wouldn't have been able to move 1 foot forward. And some people, when they're negative, they do push 1 foot forward. I know someone that can make it happen and gets money. But it's like, she can do so much more. Like, imagine the power of a positive mind with pushing forward. Possibilities are endless. Like, right now, where I'm at and how I'm feeling at this moment, I'm feeling like possibilities are endless for me. I'm dreaming big. I'm getting whatever I want. I don't give a damn. That's just where I'm at. And as I was going through these moments of getting time and having moments and being present and saying, okay, came up with that 50,000, cool. I'm good for another couple weeks. Cool, I gotta come up with that. Cool, bam, I gotta do that. It actually just made me see that I can do anything if I put my mind to it. I can do anything if I trust. I can do anything if I believe and just stay positive. And I remember literally fashion went out the damn window. And I remember just having like 3 or 4 outfits like in rotation. I would just wear them over and over again. I wasn't going to the nail shop that much. I wasn't getting pedicures that much. And I would just get up every day, take a bath, put lotion on, and put on these same clothes. And I remember losing a lot of weight at one point, and I just remember like, okay, I'm going to just try to do my hair because my hair was falling out in chunks. And I didn't want to identify it as, oh my gosh, it's stress and be woe is me. I just was like, brush your hair out, keep it pushing. Try guys, find some deep conditioners, whatever. The main thing that I kept doing was I kept it pushing. And if I had to sell something, I just left. I just wasn't attached. I just was like, why? And I had some money in like some CDs, and I'm like, why am I gonna break my CDs if I have all this stuff right here that I could just liquidate and get the money? What am I doing with all this shit? I don't even need it. I don't need 5 cars. I don't need 4 Rolexes. Like, I don't need all that stuff. Like, he always told me like, this is the cash. If you needed money. And it's just crazy because he always told me that, like, this is this, this is that, this is that. And it's crazy how I listened to him because everything he said was true. And I don't know. I'm just very happy that I went into a mode where I was just not. I'm just happy I went into a mode where I just said, forget things. I don't care about things. I don't care if I have to let this go because I see the bigger picture. And a lot of times, like, we're scared to let things go because we don't want to, first of all, probably lose the sentimental value of things. Like, the Range Rover was so sentimental to me. The way he gave it to me, the way I got it, the way I dreamed it. I wanted this particular Range Rover exactly the way it was. It had like the white seats. I just loved this Range Rover, guys. I still think of it time to time. Just time to time, you know. Think of your shit. And I'm gonna get another one. If I want another one, if that's what I truly want, that's what I'm gonna get. But I'm just happy that I wasn't worried about what people will think and what will happen if people see that I don't have this or I don't have this at the moment. And I focused on the bigger picture. Because in the end, that is truly what ended up mattering and ended up making me really liquidate everything in a lump sum of money, and was able for me to bless a lot of the people that was in his life and my life when it was time to sell this particular business and when I got my money at. I remember in the process of selling all this stuff, Layla, and it's just so funny because it shows you how innocent and pure kids are. Like, they have no idea. Layla loved cars just as much as her dad loved cars. And their thing was food and cars. And she would love, like, literally all the kids at her school since she was a kid would say, "Where's your dad's car? What car's your dad driving today? Oh, there goes your dad. We hear your dad." It was just her thing, and she just felt super cool. You know, some people feel cool because their dad built them science projects. I don't know. It was her and her dad with the cars, and everyone loved her cars and her dad's cars. And so when she saw me, I would try to explain things to her as much as I could. But when she would come home and like things are gone or the car was gone, like she saw like 3 cars leave right in front of her face because we were driving those all the time. And then it was another car, the Hellcat, that her dad, she was obsessed with that car. I was kind of scared of that car. I learned how to drive it, but it's like it was so fast that it would kind of lift off as a jet. I was kind of scared to drive that car, but whatever. Layla loved that car. I didn't sell that car. That was one of the cars that were taken from me. That's neither here nor there. I'm saying all that to say that when I sold all the cars and was getting rid of stuff, Layla had a scared moment and came to me and was like, "Mom, are we broke now because Dad died?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it broke my heart." And I was like, "No, babe, we're not. I'm going to start taking with," and this is when I chose to start to include her in things and show her, this is what I have to do. This is Dad's business. And this is what he would have wanted us to do. And I'm just making sure I fulfill his legacy and finish his dream that he started. And I started taking her up there and she would be impressed. And I remember like putting his name and her name like on the wall of the business. And it was in like an airplane, like, and it had like a kite, like a banner flying with their name. And just from me and her seeing me doing all that stuff made the experience really cool. It made me feel like really cool and empowered and strong and powerful. And it made me happy that I was able to do that and show my daughter that just because it's a bad circumstance don't mean that we can't push forward and like kind of still get things done in memory of things, in memory of your dad. And so I told her, this is what we're going to do. Because this is after I reevaluated everything. I needed a car. I had this little, car that was not about to be my everyday car. So I was like, we're going to go to Range Rover and you're going to pick out a car. And she picked out a car, and then it ended up being the car that we drove. And in the next season of Storytime, I'm going to tell you about Layla's first car and what her first car was. So I hope this inspired you. I'm trying to make sure that I told you guys everything I was supposed to do. Overall, this experience made me realize that I had to make a lot of sacrifices, but I made Billy's dream come true. And that feeling is priceless. And I know he's proud of me. And I'm proud of myself. And it was the best feeling in the world to accomplish so much at one of the hardest moments in my life, because I trusted and I knew that everything will be okay. The main thing I did, the main moral of every story, is me saying to myself, it's okay. Everything is going to be okay. So, with that being said, we're going to conclude this this episode of Storytime. I'll see you guys soon.